Come on. Rocket launcher. It has to load again, I swear to God. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Wow, I do not know what these controls are. Yo, Nick Walker, what's going on, my friend? Just gonna play in some classic MAME. See what we can get into. What can we get into? All right, move the keyboard. And hopefully we can do this. Right. 5 is credit. 1 is one player start. Yeah, use the keyboard then. Jeez. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let's play some games, y'all. Play some games. Alright. Buddies are flying around. Scramble. Scramble. Alright, I can do that. Yeah, now I'm shooting up. Now I'm shooting up. Alright, here we go, here we go. Fighting for justice. Fighting for justice. Shooting the spaceships. Oh shit. Built in the rear view mirrors. All right. Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta be able to look behind you. Sometimes we have to look behind us just to see where we're going. This is incredibly hard to talk. Oh, awesome. Yo. Yeah. All buttons airstrike. What? You've got a killer show tonight. Me and Paul have been texting all day. Texting all day talking about all the silly stuff we're going to do tonight. And we just kind of crack each other up. Usually a sign of good. It's going to be a good program. I'm so bad at this. I thought I could use my joystick. Move this thing. Top of my mixer. That doesn't break. All right. Still 6th place. Yeah, still 6th place. All right, I'm gonna be random plane. Oh, I like this one better already. Extension, which is enormous help to these types of games. Shooting things for justice. Oh, which is interesting. Little bird thing, just like slow down. That's what I need. Do this. So are you still rebuilding your rearview mirror? Building your rearview mirror? Totally timed. I think this is I think that's like a fakey Strikers 1945, which honestly makes me like it even more, which is really funny. All right, let's search this collection for Strikers. 9. We can play something classic. Oh, I know what I play. Outrun. I play Outrun ages. All right. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Start is 1, 6. Pedal. Paddle. Gear shift is Bass pedal. Pedal. Oh, there we go. Alt. Word 'em up. Yeah, now we're playing with power. Now we are doing it. We are not. Come on. Loading the binary. Playing some MAME. Got a little box now. What's that little box do? What does that little box do? That happened the last time I tried that. That's okay. That's all right. What else we got in here? We got some good stuff. Load Runner. Load Runner's a fun one. Star Trek. Nibbler. I just want to play some shooters. Samurai Spiders. That is just a great name for an arcade title. Oh, man. Off-road. Love off-road. A Gorf. There's Gorf. It's always good. Clax. Altered Beast. Wonder Boy. Who is the second power? Wonder Boy. Oh, won't you take me back to bed? Now, Truxton. Image Fight. Let's play some Truxton. See if that works. Toplan. Got a screen. Nice. All right. Ooh. Anyway. All right. Let's play some Truxton. Oh, I mean, there's a button for that. Nice. I'm into this already. Oh, that's a bomb. Kill all the Truxtons. Kill. Space roads. Kill all the space roads. Kill all the cemetery. Whoa. Whoa. They shoot forward. Speed up. Oh, I know. Truxton, waiting for my friend Pernell to show up and show me the way. Show me the way to my heart. Cute things in the space bugs look like giant testicles. Where the space falls the thing. Space, flying through space now. Flying through space. I'm gonna shoot the things. This game isn't so hard. Even though I die, we're gonna take you to life. I have a thing. Oh, snap. Bomba! There we go. I should save that. I'm not so good at Truxton. Whoa! Truxton. Oh, come on. For reals. This game is pretty rad. Yo, Truxton! Trust in me. Not bad. Okay. Press it. Yeah. No. Must be it. So it's cool, the music only. There's no sound effects at the beginning of this game. And then the doo-doo-doo-doos come in, little doo-doos. Whoa, stress. Damn it. Skills. Really, they're just a little sprite right. I'm gonna guess. Do not hear it go. Ooh, look at all that PP I got. Score. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. This is not OP. It's real. So powerful. Oh, I was going too fast. Now I've got nothing. My back is slow. Whoa. Yo, that hitbox is big. Yo, what's up, Wicked Sephiroth? Just I'm gonna check the door to see if Purnell's here. Oh, I got first place. Yeah, I was doing really good for a little while there. I am just gonna do it again. What's up? Yeah. Down here, down. I feel like I'm Jack Black all of a sudden. So, first there's these little swinging guys, and then there's these big space testicles you gotta take out. Whoa. Testicles. I'm like, wish my joystick worked on this, man. That'd be dope. But they don't. We've got music to play from everybody on the show. We might play more music than usual. We also have some stupid things that we're going to do for fun, for jokes. We're going to read your testimonials because I missed the VGM jukebox. And that's just what I'm going to do. That's what I'm gonna do. But first I'm playing Truck Stunt. Until my friend Purnell is here. Miss my friend. I miss my friend. He saw the movie last night without me. I don't care. I'll never hold it against him. God, this is just like the funkiest. Not the funkiest. It's just disco banger. So I don't know like what the strats are in this game. That thing's pretty good. I just want to power up. This thing's pretty good. First of all, it makes a really cool sound. Yeah, I like that. That dude. I look like a space moth. Okay, so that then, right? Boom. Supercharge. Like, why wasn't I there before? Did I miss it? Or was that my reward for losing like a sucker? Oh, I failed. No. Alright, here we go. This is the one. That's right, Wicked Sephiroth. Consult your doctor if your body looks anything like Truxton. If you see Truxton on your body, consult your doctor immediately. Before trying Truxton, talk to your doctor. Side effects of Truxton include hard breathing, thoughts of Truxton, twitchy fingers. Other side effects include losing on the first 2 space testicles, like an idiot. I'm not doing great. I feel like they're just unpredictable enough. And my hitbox, usually like in these games, your hitbox is like your cockpit, right? Like you can get shot on the wings, it's no big deal. This thing, the hitbox is this entire ship. It's bigger than a tile in the game, which is ridiculous. I can't believe I'm complaining about Truxton. Guys, we have reached peak rhythm and pixels. I'm live streaming Truxton and complaining about it. Yes. Give me the greens, yo. I want to level up this green jobby. Yeah, pow. Pow. Bomb and pows. Alright. You know what? That's alright though, because we get back into it. Oh, my friend. Slightly behind. Alright. He will be here soon. So what does that look like? Oh, it looks cool. It looks good. Alright, so Pernell will be here in about 5. That's alright. Okay, the amount of skulls in this game is super dope. What does that do? Oh, it goes back to Red Boys. Nice. Okay, I'm down with the Red Boys. Side effects of Red Boys include massive firepower, ship speed up, more power. I'm going way too fast to fight off those bad boys at the end there. Man, this thing's rough. Alright, I'll take that. Oh, no. Oh, then I'm back to moving like a chump. Oh, that's rough. Hold my score, though. What? Power. Does that kill me? It does not kill me. I learned something new. Holy crap, they go sideways. It's all right. Got an extra guy there. Okay, this theme song, or ending theme, is really cool. Ah. What's up, everyone? Oh, Chris Murray. He talks smack to you while you're playing. That's like it's a nightmare mode. Oh, Truxton 2. I know what I'm doing now. Oh, darn, only used for Europe. There we go. More skulls. More bones. More Truxton. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we go down there. Ooh. Back to picking up speed ups. Oh, options already? Yeah, this game. Crazy. Is this on low latency chat? I'll tell you what. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. I'll find out. Gonna find out, my friends. There it is. Let's. There it is. Huh. Ooh. Huh. Well, I'll tell you. Oh, advanced settings. Here we are. Hello. Comments, caption, promote, standard YouTube license, need a live chat. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, oh, Truxton is real. Truxton is real. Yeah, I bet you he was working out. He's just been going to the gym like mad. Turn that down. Yeah, like he's been working out a whole lot. So good on him. I can't change the settings on the latency on this thing. I think either I have to restart the stream or what. But YouTube's been doing a lot of changes. I don't know what they're doing now. God damn, this is loud. Like, they just keep changing things depending on how many subscribers you've got. And it's like you have to have 1,000 subscribers and this or that to do these certain things. And it's been really difficult trying to figure out what you can and cannot do with the YouTubes. I can tell you what, though. I can rock a mic. Oh, I got missiles this time. Before I had like some kind of crazy homing like things. Still really happy music. For what I feel like is really violent. Oh. I don't know why that really freaked me out. Alright, what's the green guys do? Oh, red. Oh! Oh, that's crazy. Alright, so you gotta like stay right in front of them. Oh. You know what? I gotta tell you, like, easier than space testicles. Oh, no, here they are. It was like they took them. Oh, shoot. I'm digging this. These are some amazing looking sprites. There we go, some speed. Reminds me of the Dodonpachi. Whoa. Plane sprite. I wonder if there's like a... Yeah, I'm in stage 1. It's gonna get... Okay, these things, okay, that shoots sideways. I need a bullet herd is what I need to do. There we go. I'm not playing shooters correctly. Oh, I think Pernella's here. I'm gonna go say hi.
Oh, like Teddy Truxton.
Yeah, we already made that joke.
Someone said that.
I think Wicked Sephiroth made that joke because he's smarter than all of us.
Truxton. Afka. Sorry about that. I tried to get all this stuff and I was like, I can do it.
No, it is good. It is good to get it in. I'm proud of you for keeping with it.
Wish my stomach could say the same because it ain't shrink. That's why I gave up like no more soda. Or more so, no more artificial sweeteners because I think that and beer. Like,
Oh yeah, beer.
I don't even drink beer that much. Like I have the same beer in my fridge that I've had for like for months.
I know. Like when I come to your house, I'm like, there's like this. Like, yeah, you want some of this beer? I'm like, you had that beer for months, man.
Yeah, which is not normal for me. I mean, here I am with the booze, drinks.
Moderated quite a bit.
I just realized this isn't as easy to do when you don't have that stupid roller in there. I think I can do it this way though.
Oh, I know. I have hand wraps for doing shit downstairs. Always lose that. Christy went this morning.
Honestly, that's why I went today because I don't know.
Oh, because she went.
I don't even know what the topic was. It was just something I posted probably about soda, the soda thing. And she said, I want this more and it's kicking my butt.
Oh, where are you gonna be on Saturday?
More of a bachelor party thing downstairs.
Down south.
Well, I shouldn't say that.
Southerly.
It's southerly. Nobody does like southerly. So, we down there for that all day.
Word.
And I'm leaving Friday night to go, so we have to drive down there. We gotta leave at 8:30 to go, quote unquote, kidnap Rebecca.
What? It's one of those things.
Well, I guess so, because he doesn't know his bachelor. He knows he's gonna have one, but he doesn't know it's Saturday. And in fact, I'm gonna see the guy tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm not supposed to tell him I'm there for, so I'm going to omit information and tell him the other reason I'm going down there and not mention that.
Nice.
So, because I don't like to lie, but I'm great with omission.
I don't like to lie, but I can leave some things out and feel okay about it.
Damn right.
Oh.
That's not a lie. That's well, I mean, they do say there's such thing as lie by omission, but at the same time, if you don't outright ask me a question, that defines. So, what are you doing down here? Well, I came and hang out with my friends, and I figured while I was down here, I'd also make a weekend of it and pick up my copy of Tiny Tina. So,
Tiny Toons?
Tiny Tina.
Is that a special DVD just for Purnell?
That would be a weird special DVD for me. No, it's that Borderlands card game they released at PAX East. Somebody went there, picked up a copy for me. He said, "You can pick it up next time you're in Baltimore." I was like, "Well, I'll be down there at the end of the month." So now I gotta also make sure to coordinate that.
All right, I think.
Bump into her or something, or just meet her at the mall or whatever.
Are you able to load up the Google Doc from your phone?
No, I printed it.
You printed the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so much smarter. So I thought what we could do is I pick my track, right? Before I play it, you would do the reading.
The reading of the manual thing?
Of the manual, and then we play the track, and then I would do the testimonial, and then I would introduce your track, and then you would do your track, and then I would do your reading, and then play the track, and then you would read the testimonial, and then we continue like that.
I like that.
Yeah, so we kind of read for each other.
Okay. So which track did you ultimately go with, or are you going to shoot?
Whichever ones you're not using.
Oh, okay. So, well, there was a bunch on there.
I know. There's a whole bunch. I think I've got them all.
I can definitely tell you that the ones I will be using will be amongst the ones I texted over. So
Okay.
the other ones are pretty safe. Are these mics on? Or they're just like, we can't hear you, but we can see your stomachs.
Yeah, the mics are on. The camera's on.
All the kids in Springfield are a bunch of little SOBs.
Why did I say they're a bunch of SOBs?
The kids of Springfield are a bunch of SOBs.
Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry we're getting started a little late, everybody. We've been doing that. But you're a bunch of little SOBs.
All the kids of Springfield, that's what they do. They eat collard greens and cod liver oil and...
I see my lamp is in the way. I'm going to leave it there. I don't care.
Yo, who?
My lamp is right there.
That lamp's always been there. Why is it glaring now?
Because I have to reposition the camera every time. And I don't care anymore. You can see my bedroom.
Because I can't see the Hoojabub, the board, or the sound collection, or the Who's Gaff.
Oh, I mean the mixer? This mixer?
Yeah, that's what they call it, the Who's Gaff.
The mixer?
The Who's Gal.
Oh, I say AFK. All right, so...
He's looking like Ryu.
Hey, Carlos is in the house. Purnell's coming in looking like
That's
Ryu.
hilarious.
Yeah, man. He's
I'm stupidly trying to... Gabbo. What's this? Something about Gabbo.
Can you hear in the thing?
Yes, I can. I just love that someone mentioned Gabbo. Like,
Yeah.
Gabbo.
I wonder what that's about.
What's this about Gabbo?
I think he wants us to tell us something about Gabbo. All right, I got too much stuff on my desk.
All right, yeah, I went to. Well, I'll mention it on the show too. But yeah, I tried to squeeze in
LaCroix
the gym
for the young people. Anyway, I'm gonna turn this.
LaCroix. Yeah, that mess. Brought to you in part by. May as well say that.
I know. Brought to you by.
While the dog is talking.
Also, Easter was like a non-event. It was like a very good time. We had expected so much worse that day.
Yeah, except for the fact that we got hustled by by Christie's mother-in-law, and we were playing. Have you ever heard of something called the Resistance? Everybody, it's a card. It's not really a board game. It's more like a card social deduction game.
Yeah, it's a social deduction card game similar to Werewolf, except you're really just calling each other out.
Yeah,
and it's fun.
And the idea is that you're basically, it's the idea of like some people are good and some people are not so good, and the bad people don't want you to know it, and they're trying to foil crap. You know the deal. And his wife's mother-in-law is she's like what, in her 60s, 70s.
Oh, it's rough territory. I want to say 60s.
She's not here to hear. Just guess.
I'm gonna say late 60s.
Okay, so she's in her late 60s, and and she doesn't play games like that. So here we are. Think, okay, she just wants to hang out. We'll just keep her, come play this game with. Just keep us company, hang out, whatever. And suffice to say, she hustled us twice. Wasn't even the first time. I admit, it was like, well, I get it. The hustle is real. She's older, and she doesn't play games, so I'm just going to assume that she's on the level. Then the second game, I got suspicious of her, and it still wasn't enough to flinch. It hurt, man. It hurt the ego. It really hurt my ego. It was bad.
All right.
It was brutal.
Okay, we got tracks. We're good. Okay. We're gonna play some tunes. Make sure.
Because I think I'm gonna be utilizing that today too.
Oh, it's gonna get lost.
But I should maybe I should just bring it up on the phone. Like,
yeah, if you want to do that real quick.
Let me see though.
Because otherwise, like what I end up doing is like sort of just squishing it right here. You know what? Here we go.
Yeah, but it makes sense because I can't respond to it without the phone too, so it balances out.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna respond, we respond on air.
Yeah, but sometimes just stuff that comes up on there is like, it makes more sense to say it text instead of like, hey, debba, and there's no context on the actual recording.
Would it be helpful? I've been thinking about it, putting a third screen so that you could
Does
see.
it feature Gabbo? Belcho.
But no, so that we could share the document, we could look at the chat and stuff like that. Would that work?
That would help. That would definitely help. Though we do have more pressing things to be concerned about. Wicked Sephiroth is under the impression that your mother-in-law could be listening right now.
Oh no, she's not. She's not a patron.
You don't know that. She could. Nick Walker he put up the suspicion. It could be Nick Walker could be your mother-in-law right now. Dripping weird mustard honey dressing and goop.
Yeah, actually, secretly.
You typed that. I'm about to say, you know about Jacques Hughes.
I know words. No, it's like secretly, my mother-in-law just is like big Twitch streamer, plays a whole lot of Fortnite.
It's the end thing, man.
No,
singers that swear and shoot guns.
They're hilarious. I mean, the swearing part is, the guns part is terrifying.
Well, video guns are okay, I guess.
There you go. Do you have everything so far? What you got over there? Got some ninjas?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to do much with it because I can tell I'm going to be talking and reading and stuff. But
we got a lot to do. We got a lot to cover today, everybody.
I had the messenger set up to go.
All right, we got to start with the news. No.
I got to start with the show.
Yeah. Did we need to bring up anything at the top?
My brains.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rob Nichols. That's Purnell, and we're here to do a video game show, talk show.
Rudy Toot Toot.
So tomorrow, which is Friday, April 25th.
You're not recording yet.
No, tomorrow. Well, I'm recording now for people listening.
Oh.
So tomorrow, which is the 26th of April, Friday.
Whoa, God, doggy. That breath.
Oh, yeah, no, my dog's breath is terrible. Yes. I might get him a little bed. I'm going to give him a little bed. Anyway, tomorrow, I guessed it on an episode of the VG Embassy. That comes out tomorrow, which I'm excited about. So
I'm kind of jealous, too, because I'm actually having surprising challenges with my upcoming episode.
Did you set one up with that already?
Yeah. I got the topic and all. Now I got like a week or two to come up with some tracks for it, and I'm slacking off. Slacking!
You want to say it?
Oh, sure. Shoegaze. which is surprisingly tough for VGM.
Cool with that? I could do it.
Well, that's the challenge. We're gonna try. Though I'm like, what games have shoegazy anything? I have two that have come to mind. I'm not gonna say them on the air because that's part of the whole recording. But
Yeah. Jammin' number one.
I'm forced Sobble in a trench coat.
All right. We have we got two remix picks from Stephen Miller and Cameron Werma. I'm assuming we're just going to use those for bonus round.
We might have to because my extra track wasn't even a bonus round. It was a normal track.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we got everything we need. Okay, here we go.
For Sobel. That's Sobel.
And that's the theme song.
Grapefruit. Yes.
Grapefruit.
I'm going to have a drink. I'm passing out.
Welcome to Rhythm and Pixels. Welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, a video game music podcast. This is episode 18-2, and we are your hosts. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell. We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Every week we hang out, we listen to great video game music, and we talk about it, we chat about it, we have a good time. And once a month, we do a live stream of the show as we record just for our Patreon subscribers. So if you go to patreon.com/rhythmandpixels, you can support us there if you like, and you get access to these wonderful programs.
And you get to see behind the dark scenes of the podcast scenes, in which case I came in today looking like a haggard mess.
Yeah, I know, but you had the cool hand wraps on because you came back from that boxing gym.
Yeah, I went to the boxing gym, but I did not consume enough calories for the day, so that got a little rocky. But at the same time, it also came as a result of me doing something real dumb yesterday, but also fun. So I went.
You went to a movie, right?
I went to the movies, but in the way that only Purnell goes to the movies. Like, see, here's the thing.
Like last minute, like I wasn't really going to go, but now I'm here.
Well, not just that, because that is also a Purnell thing.
Yeah.
But I went to see Captain Marvel because I want to get that out of the way before the end game comes up, because I did want to see the movie. I'm really bad at going.
I do want to see Captain Marvel. I do want to see Endgame. There's two things. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but there's two things. One, I heard that Captain Marvel, like,
it was entertaining.
it's entertaining, but like I don't have to see
don't
it
have to see it.
enjoy the final movie.
That is true.
Endgame, I might not go in the theater because it's so long. It's so long.
Take a catheter.
It's so long, pronounced.
Catheter.
It has nothing to do with the urination nation.
Oh, you just
And
go.
it has more to do with sitting in a crowded theater. Anyway, continue.
Those seats are comfortable. You don't want to even notice 3 hours go by. But anyway, so I went to see Captain Marvel. I'm usually not one to go by myself, which is why I'm really bad at seeing films, but I just wanted to go see this. So I've last minute forced myself to go. But the one perk I can think of by going by yourself is that you don't have to worry about embarrassing someone else when you show up. So I went, had a bowl of pho.
Okay.
That's a brand new record for me.
You brought the pho with you?
I bought pho to the theater, and I ate it.
Nice.
It was glorious. I think it's my record. I've had pho in the theater now. I've had a cheesesteak in the theater now. I've had 2 burritos.
That's the nice thing about that Regal over there. They don't care. Like, you bring in anything.
Oh, I'm not chancing. They didn't know.
Oh, they didn't know, really?
Oh, I snuck it in there, man. I had a bowl.
Oh, man.
And I had not a bowl. So I had one of those like cups sealed up in my bag.
See,
and the bowl was inside the bag, and I just took it all out and just made the bowl. And
I used to work next to that. Like I didn't work at the theater, but I worked connected to the theater for the arcade. And I knew, like, they just didn't care anytime. So my wife Christy, we would take like food in and we'd like put it in her purse or whatever. I'm like, they don't care. They don't care. They just want you to go in there and not cause any trouble. Like, if you go in there and not cause trouble, like, it's the best. Like, you've won. You're their favorite customer.
Oh, I went to town, man. But honestly, the movie, pho. It's pronounced. Yeah, you better believe it. I brought pho. See, here's the thing.
All right.
I'm always trying to push the envelope. I'm a record setter at sneaking food in the theaters. When I was a teenager, as an early adult, actually. So Rob would know this from back in the day. I was known for having massive coats.
Yes.
Like, I was always carrying giant coats that could fit like 3 people in it. So I would be the resident
three regular sized people inside one Purnell coat.
That's right.
You brought like every quarter you've ever like acquired.
And I used to carry quarters in there too. It was like a training montage.
Yeah, training montage.
Yes, I was using chopsticks. The only way to do it, I was eating shit with the chopsticks. Yes. So But when I was a teenager, when I was a late teenager, early adult, I would wear this giant coat. And I was like the guy that would bring in all the snacks for everyone else. So I would stick like those candy boxes inside my sleeves. I'd have potato chips in the sleeves, and I'd have the bottom of the coat twist tied knotted, like with the tightener strings. And I would shove stuff into the top of the coat. So I'd walk in the theater, sit down, unzip my coat, and splash. Everything's out. Everybody just eats your food, and we're good here. We're covered.
Oh,
covered.
I love it.
It was glorious. And you know why I did it? Because I'm a cheapskate. And theaters rip you the heck off.
They do, man.
No way a box of nerds should cost $5 friggin' dollars.
And any of them now that sell alcohol, it's like way overpriced.
Yes. But let's not go nuts here. See, the alcohol is glorious. See, I've only had that at the theater one time. I went to see one of the Star Wars movies. I was at Anime Central in Chicago, and there's a theater out there that had the second floor balcony. You had to pay extra for the VIP seats,
Right.
and I did that because I thought it'd be pretty funny to say I'm in VIP. And then they get up there, it's like, "Would you like some wine, sir?" I was like, "Well, wait! I get to drink wine at the theater?" And he's like, "Yes." I was like, "I would love a bottle of wine, yes."
I would like a box of wine.
So they gave me and my friend wine, and we're sitting at the balcony while our other friends are in the normal, sitting down in the lower level.
Yeah.
And we're just acting like the worst, like philanthropists.
You were like, oh, those
Look at the plebes at the
common-
bottom, common folk without their boxed wine. Look at me swish my drink. It was a great time.
You're like throwing your wine. Have some.
Have some. Oh, you thirsty people! It was a great time. Like that experience was worth the stupid price of wine. It was just it was a hilarious time.
Oh man.
See,
Yeah, it's good. It is good to sneak candy into the theater too.
see, I'm a genuine. Anthony Rob and I are genuine, honest, good people. But I think we could both endorse sneaking snacks into the theater.
Yeah.
it's an American
Okay,
tradition.
So what is your theater snack of choice? Like if you had to think of one candy or
It has to
one
be specifically
thing.
candy.
Let's say it's candy, yeah, because otherwise it's going to be like anything.
All right, if it's candy, it's going to be a toss-up between the Sour Patch Kids
Ooh.
and they used to have like the boxes of Nerds.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would do
I like
those
those
two.
a lot. Yeah.
But if we're talking non-candy, it's all about the nacho cheese pretzel bites.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with the pretzel bites. I don't like the nacho cheese so much, but if it's candy for me, it's always Skittles.
Skittles are too sweet, even for me. That's the hiccup.
I love the Skittles. Or I know Christy really likes the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, well, Reese's Pieces are banging.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about, like, just tasting the rainbow, and then you put one in your mouth, and the rainbow's just, like, unicorns
It's a lot
just,
of-
like, skated
Too
all
much.
over.
I feel the same way with Sour Patch Kids. It's just too much like flavor.
The sour, man.
It's too
That's
sour.
heaven.
All right, so let's get into some music. We got a lot of music today. When we do our live stream shows, we ask for music from our Patreon subscribers and from our listeners. And this whole month of April, we've been talking about our favorite games. So now we're talking about your favorite games. Because I've been thinking about this all week. Like, I never want to poop on games. Poo-poo on games. Poop on games.
Well, that'd be kind of gross for us.
Don't want to poo-poo on games because, like, everyone's got their own thing. There's no wrong way to have fun. There's no bad games really. Like there's like someone's gonna love it, and I really believe that we should just embrace everyone else's enthusiasm for whatever they're playing.
That is true. However, I got to add this in there.
Yeah, Truxton is the best game.
Truxton is. I wasn't here to see enough, so I couldn't say one way or the other.
It's pretty disco.
I think there's a certain like line where like there's nothing wrong with discussing a game. Like let's say you reference a game that you like,
Oh.
and I may not, or it might be things about it that I don't dig. Like
You're saying criticize.
yeah, solid criticisms of a game.
We can have a discussion.
Yes, you can have a discussion. Now I'm not gonna go, hey Rob, what's your favorite game? Actually, I'm gonna do that. Rob, what's your favorite game?
My favorite game is Mega Man.
That game is hot garbage.
See, that's bad.
That is very bad.
And that's bad.
That is mean. We do not endorse that kind of talk. Well, there are some bad games.
You know what?
We had Wicked Sephiroth. He did reference one of the crown jewels of trashdom. We have to acknowledge that.
E.T. for the Atari, but you know what?
I'm also gonna go with Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Okay, Bart versus the Space Mutants, I got a problem with. But E.T. for the Atari, I grew up playing.
I did too, but you gotta look back.
Not so great.
It's not so great. We played it because we know better.
I like that we're like, this is a bad way to talk about games. Okay, what about ET? Garbage. Hot garbage.
Also, highlight. Highlight was hide awful.
Highlight. There's a sport called highlight, Jailai, where it's like you put those giant like cuffs on your arm. It looks like a giant like scoop, and you throw a ball with the scoop, and it goes like 1,000,000,000 miles an hour.
So is it manual lacrosse?
No, it's a lot like racquetball, but you play it like.
It's human ball.
But you play it yards away from a wall, and you throw the balls go so fast, and you're supposed to catch them in these cuffs that it can kill somebody. It's pretty wild.
So it's like wall ball with a glove.
It's kind of, yeah. Oh, and now we have some more friends in the chat, so we're going to listen to some music. Pernell, this is an even-numbered episode, so I'm going to start the show. How's that sound? And I'm going to stay away from your picks, even though you picked 5 tracks today.
I went to town, baby.
All right.
We had some good choices.
We had some great choices. I'm going to start at the bottom of my list here, which is not the bottom of the list.
I was about to say, you need to clarify that.
right.
That's not right.
Okay, this was chosen by listener and Patreon subscriber Stephen Miller. Do you have that one, Pernell?
What's the track called?
The track is called "You're Not Alone!" from Final Fantasy IV for the I wrote Sony PlayStation for the Super Nintendo, composed by Nobuo Uematsu.
Okay.
And all of this episode, we are going to not only read your testimonials and read like what you love about the game, what you love about the music. We're also going to read a little bit of the intro story and plot from the game's manuals in the most dramatic way possible.
Well, come on, let's not raise the bar here. I just got back from the gym. My voice is mucka. All
right.
So I'd give a crack at this. Say, the story begins. 5 airships speed across the sky. The Red Wings, the Air Force of the Kingdom of Baron, headed by Captain Cecil, are on their way back to Baron after completing a mission in Mysidia. Cecil reflects back on an event which took place only hours ago. Although it was the king's order, Cecil and his men feel guilty about taking the crystal from the people of Mysidia. But Cecil reminds them all that they are the proud and mighty Red Wings of Baron.
Nice.
Still questioning the royal command, Cecil brings the crystal to the king. He starts to leave, but decides to ask the king of his intentions. Accused of disloyalty, Cecil is removed from his post in the Red Wings and is ordered to go hunt the summoned monster in the Misty Valley in the northwest areas of Baron. Kane, the captain of the Dragoons, tries to defend his friend's honor, but he too, alas, is ordered to go with Cecil to fight the monster and to deliver a package to the village of Mist. Cecil apologizes to Kane for involving him. The king will return you to the Red Wings after this mission, he proclaims, before parting. And then the adventure begins.
I put the music right in there.
I wonder how that's going to go over with everybody. Windjammers. We want drama. Before parting.
Final Fantasy 9. Oh my god. I'm like way off.
Wait, you did. Wait, I was listening. Like this doesn't sound like it's from Final Fantasy.
I gave you the wrong one. We are off to a great start.
You know what? That's what makes it live. Hey, we gotta announce when we come back. You know we have to. So, for everyone listening, though it's gonna get acknowledged.
Oh my god, I got the music playing. It's pretty like, yeah. I'm like, this doesn't sound like this.
So for everybody that is listening right now,
we're gonna have to redo it.
Yeah, maybe we can record it afterwards. Like if we can find the opening, I can just record it.
Yeah,
afterwards.
I can get it.
But we should tell them at least, and we'll just play it off on the record. So, fun fact here. Steven gave us a track from Final Fantasy IX.
And
Rob pulled down the description from Final Fantasy IV.
look, man,
And then, hey, it's not all your fault because I didn't stop it. I just kept going. I went with it. So, we read a description for Final Fantasy IV related to a track from Final Fantasy IX.
Nine.
So, we are going to fix that in post. But hey, live is cool, right? That's what makes it awesome. That is hilarious. let me double check these descriptions before we move on.
yeah. Why don't you just? I'm looking over them. I'm looking over them now. Hold on.
I'm gonna check
I
out
like that
the description.
sound.
Robert took the track away and added a new description today.
Robert!
It didn't work as well as we'd hoped, but I got my pillow full. So it's good.
Robert, do you want to find hell with me?
Are we doing our best Stone Temple Pilot voice now?
Oh no, that's Danzig, man. All right, here we
Danzig.
go. Glenn Danzig,
So they sound the same?
sort of. Yeah, they do. All right, here we go. And we're back. This is "You're Not Alone" from the game Final Fantasy IX
Nine.
for the Sony PlayStation. My mistake. Still composed by Nobuo Uematsu. That's enough out of you, Pernell. That's enough out of you. I'm sure I'm getting called out. I'm getting called out in the chat. That's fine. But anyway, this is chosen by our listener and Patreon subscriber, Stephen Miller. And Stephen says, I know it's a bit cliche, but this is probably my favorite track from any Final Fantasy. I've got a huge emotional attachment to this one, so I get chills every time I hear it. So few games deal with existentialism in a way this succinctly, and this track bleeds it. I'm curious as to what his emotional attachment to the game is.
Well, I haven't played it in a while, so I'm very kind of lost on it.
I've never played this one.
But my main thing is when it comes to the sense of attachment, how emotions can come in, is you have Vivi, who was a mage,
He was like the black mage who looked like the old school Final Fantasy 1 black mage, right?
Yeah, but it was a little bit more than just fan service. There it was there was actually a bunch of I don't, they may have been robots. They may have been I don't know, let's just call them robots. But they were basically robotic black mages that were a militia force created by this wicked queen, and he was one that kind of malfunctioned or something along those lines. But basically the whole instance of him not feeling like he belongs anywhere in the world, and he still ends up befriending members of the main cast. And I also remember the princess being just pretty much depressed the entire game for the most part. There was I gotta go see, there it is. This is what I need to have happen. See, every once in a while, I'll forget aspects of a game enough that I can say it's finally time to go back and replay it.
You think it's time to replay this one?
Yeah, because I never finished it. I got to Memoria, and I remember certain bits of it. I remember the Dragoon character, Freya, going back to her hometown, and while you're there, you have to fight that assassin Armand or red-haired kid.
Armando.
Actually, that's his name going for. He's going to be Armando.
You could probably there's summons in Final Fantasy IX. Maybe you can rename them.
Oh yeah, I'm going to name him Armando.
We did that with the
Adermon.
We did that with the Aeons in Final Fantasy X. So Ixion was Horsey,
Oh jeez.
and I think Bahamut was Fernando.
Oh, for the record,
What?
the best game ever that allowed you to rename stuff, Wild Arms.
Wild Arms.
Have you ever played any of the Wild Arms games?
I have not, but what can you rename? Is it
You
everything?
can name any of the spells.
Oh wow!
Every spell you get, you can choose your own name for it. So
Every spell.
every spell.
That's awesome.
So, a lot of people probably were naming their spells like Mega Fire or, really hot spell or something.
Or use this one.
Automatons, there we go. Wicked Sephiroth, nailed it. as far as the VV and the Black Mage thing,
They were called
automatons.
automatons. Okay.
So
You can rename. So what? How did you name your spells?
I named them like the sort of things. I named them quotes. Like I gave them quote titles. So like as if I was saying it. Like
So if you were like on the field, you were like, "I raise hellfire," and that was like the name of the spell.
or like a nice spell with like chill out. And like snap your finger and like it freeze the guy.
Everybody
or the wind spell be like back the heck up, and you like blow the wind spell to blow everybody back.
Oh, I love that. That's
And I had
awesome.
I was like a poison spell, like soup song. Like the spell would trigger and it would just be ridiculous.
oh, that's great.
But
yeah.
that's still like probably one of my favorite game experiences because I would make them like the stronger the spell, the more aggressive I'd make the title of the spell. So like I'm getting really angry. It's like, "Argh!" It was so good.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, so that was Final Fantasy IX. Pernell, what are you going to choose from first?
All right, I'll make it pretty simple as a follow-up because I have to go with this track as being one of my selectors. So this track is from the game Final Fantasy VI, submitted by OK Impala.
Yes.
The track title is called "Searching for Friends," and the composer of this track is Nobuo Uematsu. And I'm just double checking to make sure. And as I look it over,
I'm pretty sure I got this one right.
this looks about right. Yes. Yes. I feel comfortable and secure in you reading this description.
Okay. Prologue. The ancient war of the Magi. When its flames at last receded, only the charred husk of a world remained. Even the power of magic was lost. In the 1,000 years that followed, iron, gunpowder, and steam engines took the place of magic, and life slowly returned to the barren land. Yet there now stands one who would reawaken the magic of ages past and use its dread power as a means by which to conquer all the world. Could anyone truly be foolish enough to repeat that mistake? I'm actually gonna cut in music on top, like big dramatic music every time.
To answer your question, Chris Murray, those were the only two. But we both ended up choosing one of them.
Searching for Friends is the track, right?
Yeah.
Searching for friends. Searching for friends. Searching for
Right there, third one down.
Searching for the. Look, how can you read that and I can't? I gotta get
Because I have vision problems.
That was a good tune. I love the song. So Carlos is in the chat. He reposted that track I played from Sonic Wings or Aero Fighters 3, the jungle track.
Yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow is all about, on the VG Embassy, is like 2 hours of video game drum and bass music, jungle and drum and bass. I don't play any Sonic Wings, but there's stuff from like Ridge Racer, there's stuff from Klonoa, just all over the board. It's really cool.
Klonoa,
I think Klonoa's in there, Ape Escape. There's some really, really, really good jams on that episode. I'm really excited. We talk about the history of music. We talk about the speed of music. We talk about why I love it so much.
Are you picking this one as one of yours? You should. You should.
I will.
All right. Now we're talking.
Okay, I'll talk about it like on the record, but because there's actually actual PDFs online for every one of these old manuals.
Really?
Yeah, the Earthbound manual is insane.
Yeah, it's a strategy guide.
Yeah, but there's it's like the text is everywhere.
It's glorious. You know what
crazy.
they did, right? So they decided to release the manual simultaneously. They combined it with the strategy guide. There is no regular.
Oh, that makes
manual.
sense then. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I'll pick that one next.
Okay.
Everyone gets to see my editing.
Edit.
All right, ready?
Da 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 da. Everybody wants to drive in a plane. Welcome back to the show. You just heard Searching for Friends from the game Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have worked after the tempo was going to change.
Oh yeah.
This was submitted by OK Impala. I kind of, aside from his description, I had to go with it because this is one of my favorite games, and I love the description that he gave for it, his like reasoning. So his wording was, Testimonial from OK Impala.
Mhm.
Begin scene. Let me stop.
Begin.
A track from my favorite game, Final Fantasy VI. Recently, I'm playing this gem of a game all over again. Thanks to the excellent mod, Final Fantasy VI Brave New World, I can enjoy the original SNES version in a whole new way. Entry point here. Brave New World, if I'm not mistaken, is a edit that rearranges how the world is designed, laid out, and you get the airship right away. So it's almost like you're
I've
kind
heard
of
about this,
exploring
yeah.
immediately and discovering things anew as you play.
Yeah.
Back into the description, though, is testimonial. One of my favorite tracks of Final Fantasy VI is Searching for Friends. It's a beautiful turning point in the game. All hope is lost after the world was ruined. When you finally find an airship in said world of ruin, you also find that first glimmer of hope in a dark world. The search for your lost friends can begin. The first step towards a new future. That is so on point and legit because I'm going to tell you right now, at that time when this game came out, it was that the World of Ruin segment was legitimately one of the most depressing things
Yeah.
I had ever encountered in a game. Your character tries to just commit suicide, but out of despair and depression. You end up in a town that's constantly besieged by a ridiculous, non-killable monster. You can't find any of your friends. The world looks like, creamed corn. It's just, nothing's great. It's a very sombering scenario. And then yet, like he said, once you get the airship, you start moving around, you realize that the entire world isn't completely gone to crap. Some people have adapted and evolved with the world and made it their own. Others are possessed or dealing with the possessed painting, and some are just seeking treasure inside of a volcano because they got nothing better to do. But the point is,
Because some people got nothing better to do than get money.
get that money, gotta get paid. But this game is one of the all-time greatest, and his OK Impala's description and his reasoning, honestly, I feel is a large part of why it is, despite the fact that it is, I guess, 30 years old now. Almost 30 years old.
Almost, it can't be 30.
No, it's almost.
It's
It's almost. It's like in his 20s.
it's in its 20s.
96? Yeah.
Yeah.
So 20. No, it's not. It's like 22 years.
It's a
Whatever.
millennial.
Yeah, there it is. It can drink. And it can vote.
Oh, no.
That's right. Kefka for president.
Well, it doesn't have U.S. citizenship.
That is true. tough nuggets, Final Fantasy VI.
Man, I do love classic Final Fantasy music.
Final Fantasy 3, on the other hand, does have U.S. citizenship.
Oh.
Bam!
I like that. So 6 does not, but 3 does.
I love this. I love this. This game, again, is over 20 years old, and we got a guy in the chat who just learned that you could save Cid's life in the World of Ruin. And I ain't gonna lie, don't feel too bad. I don't think many of the people who played the game for the first time without a guide knew you could save them. There was no indication that there were healthy fish and unhealthy fish. So, for the record, when you first enter the World of Ruin, one of the
None
main,
of this makes sense to me. So
that's why I'm stepping in.
I believe there is a Cid.
There is a Cid. May or may not be a man. He is a man.
He is a
One of your main characters in Cid are trapped on a deserted island, and after the World of Ruin becomes a thing, and that friend Cid is ill and hungry, so your main character goes down to the river or to the water to fish for him. And seeing how this is like a sprite-based 16-bit RPG, fishing involves just walking up to the water and pressing A on moving fish.
Right.
No rods or reels required.
Just getting fish.
Just touch those fish. And unfortunately, some are moving pretty quickly and some are moving rather slowly. And as just a budding player, your first thought is likely going to be
Get the slow
the
fish.
fish that you can catch, which
Oh.
are the slow fish.
Which are sick fish?
But they're actually sick fish. And if you keep giving him those fish, he dies.
No kidding. You actually kill Cid.
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, unbeknownst to you, it's not a malicious act. It's not second or first degree murder. It's an accident.
It's just manslaughter.
It's just manslaughter. Anybody could have made that mistake. But once you learn the truth, most likely from a guide or the schoolyard, you can go back and give him only the fast-moving fish, and you can revive him, save his life. But if you don't save his life, that's when the depressing scene I mentioned earlier happens.
yeah. All right. Well, where is the schoolyard stage that you've talked about? I'm kidding. Of
The
course.
schoolyard. Oh, of course there's probably a schoolyard.
Yeah,
one.
of course. Well, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to go on to my next track. Purnell, I'm going to play that one we just talked about. I'm going to pick a track from Wicked Sephiroth. another great supporter of the show, a continued supporter of the show. And he picked a few tracks from the game Earthbound for the Super Nintendo, composed by Hirokazu Tunaka.
Hip to knock.
Chip Tunaka. Oh, I like that. Chip Tunaka. He is wild and crazy man. So of all the tracks he picked, I'm picking Battle Against a Mobile Opponent from the game Earthbound for the Super Nintendo. Purnell.
Can 4 average kids save the world from certain destruction at the hands of an evil alien invader? They might be experienced, but don't count them out. The 4 spunky kids have the fate of mankind in their hands and the weight of the world on their shoulders. So it's a good thing they've got psychic powers and you on their side. Man, that's foreshadowing I didn't even realize.
Yeah, right.
As you begin this unique gaming experience and explore the world in search of the sinister spirit of Gygus, pack along our travel guide. You'll need it to find your way through Earthbound's twisted and hilarious world, and you won't want to miss a single side trip or pass up any sights along the way. Just remember to phone dear old mom and dad. After all, the kids will wander a long way from home.
That was great. This summer.
Coming this summer for spunky kids.
Oh, that's crazy. Coming this summer, Rob has to use the bathroom. I will be right back.
And oh yeah, I do agree. Like the description didn't mention the fish bit, but honestly, my whole thing was just pick up the fish, deliver the fish, man eats fish. Let's movie on along. I didn't even think about any of that kind of stuff. It does take longer to save them because it takes longer to catch all the good fish. Have a good night, Chris. Also, I did listen to some of your first episode. I dig it, sir. I do dig it. It's the ones that move fast. There's always a Sid. That's like, I read that and started thinking about BioShock. There's always a Sid. There's always an airship, and there's always a chocobo. And a lighthouse. Coming soon this summer. I want Rick and Morty to come back because now I'm remembering that stupid movie sketch. Final Fantasy 3. So what are you guys playing these days? Any games in particular on the plate? I'm actually still playing The Messenger. I am running around like a wacky man with a sword who can swing it wildly. Having a good time with it. Playing that. Just got a game that released today called Agalus too, which is, if you're a big fan of like the Monster World style games, it is definitely something you should look into because it's totally made as an homage to the way those games looked. Welcome back, sir. I think. Oh, or not. He's getting a beverage, I think. He's like, run, run. Do. Yeah, man. Trails of Cold Steel is Coke. It is that game, I had to put it down. Whoa. How far are you in Raito? I have to go back to that game. It's been ages. But I actually was just talking about that today because a lot of the people the way they responded to the Persona 5 Strikers release, a lot of people in the Persona or the Megaton Hell groups are complaining about how it's not Persona or Shin Megami Tensei 5 or whatever. And like, it could have at least been Raito Kuzonoha. That would have been great, right? This is what the mobile opponent is. I didn't even know that. Oh, also, they probably can't hear this right because when the music's playing, they can't hear the microphones. Is that what it is?
Oh, they can hear us. That's just the music's louder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The best opponent in Raito is the car.
Actually, no, they could never hear the music.
Oh, they couldn't hear the music?
Yeah, it wasn't routed.
Oh, boy. It's time to start it over.
Dude.
I think it's interesting when it comes to Earthbound music. I feel like when you're a kid, it's like your taste in music evolves with Earthbound. And when I think about it, it's like when I was a teenager, I don't remember all the titles of the tracks, so I'm not going to remember that. But my favorite battle ball music track was the one that would play when you're fighting the new age retro hippies. It was like like a beats track or beat surfer beats track.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, my favorite track is the one where it's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I love that song. I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it. But
It's
I like
so
it.
good, but as a kid, I could not truly understand the majesty that it brought to the game. But now I'm like, ho, this is gold, baby. Oh, I guess Chris is right. I think this is the track that would play during when you're fighting the Shark Gang members.
Doing my own little cut here. You're listening to Battle Against a Mobile Opponent from the game Earthbound for the Super Nintendo, composed by Hirokazu Tanaka.
Just say Hip Tanaka.
Hip Tanaka. This was picked by Wicked Sephiroth, and Wicked Sephiroth says he had written a few things, and so I kind of split it up to be a little bit more relevant to the show. On the subject of Earthbound, a fun fact about the peaceful Rest Valley: it was supposed to be Grateful Dead Valley, but was centered like much of the things in the localization, like the octopus statues and the red crosses on the hospitals. I downloaded a ROM with all of these changes put back to the original state, which I would recommend. According to my research on the composers, Keiichi Suzuki, who is the other composer in this game, his personal pieces play when the player is walking around the map or out of battle, while Hirokazu Tanaka wrote most of the game's weird stuff. Tanaka mentioned in an interview that the creepiness in the battles indicates the presence of the influence of Gygas.
I guess that kind of makes sense because, I mean, let's be honest, he's probably just kind of covering his tracks for the design of choice of like the backgrounds, but those backgrounds are really awesome.
I have a feeling that they probably Hirokazu Tanaka, like he worked on. I feel like he's worked on games for so long. He has a really strong sense of, I think, of how to compose for games. Mm-hmm. He's been doing it for so long. I feel like he probably worked closely with the developers, worked closely with the story of the game, and was like, all right, through all the crazy stuff, we want it to kind of sound kind of wacky and this and that.
No. I'm not talking about the music. That I get.
Oh,
I totally get that. I'm talking about the way the backgrounds are. Like,
yeah.
Because the game was designed to be kind of like visually, it resembled how Dragon Quest battles were.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You know, hit points at the bottom, commands at the top, and your enemies stationary in the center.
Just the enemies, you don't see your party or anything like that, right?
Yeah, but instead of having the like a flat background, like here's a forest or here's this building, it was a bunch of psychedelic patterns and wacky stuff going on. And
so not the creepiness in the music. You're saying like the crazy psychedelic stuff of the backgrounds.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's really that they were saying like it's supposed to show the influence of Gygas. Like I think they just wanted to show weird crap like the rest of the game does. Yeah,
I really like that. I like this tune. I gotta be honest, I haven't really fully explored the soundtrack, and I never finished playing the game. I really should, because every time I hear music from this game, I'm like, oh, it's so different and cool.
Yes, I will tell everybody to play Earthbound until I'm hoarse and out of breath, because again, Earthbound is one of those games I think holds up timelessly.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because when the game first came out, people were mocking it for not looking very it wasn't very technologically advanced for the time. It was kind of a throwback game. But I would still rather play that now than a lot of the RPGs that were on the Super Nintendo back then.
Ooh, damn!
I didn't say all of them. I said a lot of them. Let's relax, sir.
I know, but so I mean, among the top tier of
this is
Super
top
Nintendo,
tier for me.
Yeah, so great pick, Wicked Sephiroth.
Oh yeah, buddy. And like I said, like this game is worth your time. This game inspired me to play a lot of games. This is why I got into Persona, which you know how that turned out.
Yeah.
So Earthbound's why I got into Persona.
Oh, interesting.
Earthbound
Very
is why I like when games have multiple battle tracks in the game instead of just the one that plays all the time. Because it adds variety and it gives you something to look forward
I
to.
do like that. Since I've been replaying Final Fantasy X,
For the 15th.
for the fifth, maybe the fifth time, fourth or fifth time. I don't care. I like it a lot. The music of the battle music, I've started to get. It starts to wear on me, and like I love the battle music of Final Fantasy X, but you hear it so often
Yeah.
that I'm just about done with it, man.
Now
you know?
imagine if there was like 4 battle tracks that would play, not including the boss
Yeah,
tracks.
I would like that,
It would
yeah.
add some salty brine
It's
to
cause
it.
it's crazy because when you go into like a new area and it gets really serious and like that kind of tense music or the stage music doesn't stop while you're in the battle, suddenly it's like, oh, something really serious is going on. It's really cool. It creates more of a cinematic feel, but it happens so rarely. Maybe that's why it's so pointed at the time. But
One thing I should probably respond to, because this is an interesting point that was brought up in the chat.
okay,
So Chris Murray goes, I get when people who have never played it don't like it now. I get that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've had this chat about other games, not particularly Earthbound as well, where some games either you had to be there or you have to at least have an appreciation for the aesthetic
yeah.
before you even go in.
That's interesting because there's a difference between like saying like, oh yeah, that game holds up, right? Now that's like maybe it's coming from someone who has played and experienced games from that era, and then let's say there's someone younger who who didn't play games from that era, maybe wasn't alive or just wasn't playing games from that time.
Yeah.
So like now they're looking back on it, like my wife Christy, she loves Final Fantasy, but she looks back on some of those old Super Nintendo, Nintendo stuff, and it doesn't resonate with her because the characters, the character models, the sprites doesn't sit with her.
They don't pop.
They don't pop. They don't emotionally resonate with her like, so to say, some of like the newer games.
There's no facial expressions, and Ness always has that straight smirk. And, you
Yeah.
know, even in the most dramatic scenes, villagers are still smiling because they don't change their facial expressions.
Yeah, they just move a little faster when they're running around. So yeah, and I totally get that. So for her, it's not that the game doesn't hold up. It's just that, you know, she started playing video games at a time when it was kind of past that technology.
And even
And,
with, like,
yeah.
the battles still, like, I remember my brother wouldn't play it. He didn't like RPG. Well, first of all, he wasn't big on RPGs in general, but he was especially not fond of RPGs where you couldn't see your battle members doing things.
Yeah, me too. I kind of still feel that way.
Which
Which is kind of dumb, right? But like,
Fun fact, Earthbound is also the first game where I was able to appreciate that, too. Like, I played Dragon Quest 1,
Mm-hmm.
I played Dragon Quest 2, and I didn't like either. Like, I rented them and I played them as much as I could, but
Yeah.
ultimately, they didn't really
you
grind
want
me.
to like hit a button and see something happen on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting how these different game plays and these different game mechanics, like either you learn to like them or you don't appreciate them right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, going back to something you said earlier, if you don't appreciate them, that's cool.
That's cool.
Tons of other games you could like.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
So what's the next game you're gonna like?
Let's see. Let me take
Or
out
what's
my-
the next game that someone likes? That we can
that
also,
someone likes. It could be anyone.
of all of the tracks that you picked for yourself.
You know what? I'm going to pick this one because it came up since you know who mentioned it or started talking. I'm going to mention his track anyway because I did have an intention to pick it anyway.
All right, let's do it.
So this track is submitted by listener Chris Murray from the game Fire Emblem Fates, and it is titled Ties That Bond. It's from the Nintendo 3DS. Wait, I thought I had it. Damn, I was like, it was 2 people. All right. It was composed by from the OST is composed by Takeru Kanazaki, Hiroki Morishita, Rei Kondo, Masato Koda, and Yasuhisa Baba. Though I think this specific track was composed by Takeru Kanazaki and Hiroki Morishita.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could not find the specific composers for this track.
No, I lucked into it.
Oh, you looked into it? Okay. Yeah, I did some searching around. And also
Soul searching.
The only manual I could find for this game was the manual that told you like how to connect to like the internet and do specific things and like, hey, this is how this new game mechanic works. But there was no like plot, description like in the older school games. So I went to the wiki for this one.
Oh, for Fire Emblem?
For this Fire Emblem Fates.
Fates.
The overarching story follows the protagonist, a customizable avatar created by the player, as they are unwillingly drawn into a war between the kingdoms of Hoshido, their birthplace, and Nor, their adopted home, and must choose which side to support. In Revelation, the Avatar rallies both sides against the true mastermind behind the war. The gameplay, which revolves around tactical movement of units across a grid-based battlefield, shares many mechanics with previous Fire Emblem games, although some elements are unique to each scenario.
Bum, bum.
A little less dramatic.
Also, I just learned something again from the chat. I did not know that Undertale actually started as an Earthbound hack.
That makes sense to me.
It does. A lot of people have made the comparison, but I wonder how many of those people that made the comparison knew about this hack statement.
It's the most dramatic track we've played so far.
Yeah, man. When you need to bind with some ties, it needs to be dramatic.
I like that.
Oh, real quick before we start recording again, I'm assuming Chris will hear it with a slight delay. So, without spoiling who, how, and why, Chris Murray, and I think you said you're far into Trails of Cold Steel. Does Ouroboros show up? Or do they get mentioned at any point that you've noticed in the game? He'll probably respond when
I'll
he
respond when
hears
it's
it. I just wanted to make sure I could ask the question. Hopefully you heard it.
All right, you ready?
Yes. Yes. Welcome back. You're listening to, or were listening to, or are listening to Ties That Bind, submitted by listener Chris Murray from the game Fire Emblem Fates, composed by Takeru Kanazaki, Hiroki Morishita, Rei Kondo, Masato Koda, and Yasuhisa Baba. Testimonial. My favorite 3DS exclusive game. This game sucked me into the Fire Emblem series something fierce. I loved my 3DS and was kind of getting back into gaming a bit more seriously, so I feel very fortunate that when I wandered into GameStop, with no intention of getting anything, mind you, I just happened to be at the mall at the time.
Oh, sure. We've all said that before, haven't we?
The GameStop dude that was there, I was like, this, dude, you need to be playing this. Please, just trust me on this. I did, and I've been playing a ton of Fire Emblem games ever since. The game is an amazing blend of tactical RPG, classic Japanese story-driven gaming elements, and actually is built in a way where there are 3 games in one collective. You can choose your side and play as either of the warring factions or go your own route, these being titled either Birthright, Conquest, or Revelation. I've played through all 3 scenarios multiple times and have enjoyed it each time, given the complexity of the gameplay, relationship, castle building, and other such elements. This game right here, fun stories about this game. Or mixed bag, depending on how you look at it.
A mixed bag about this game.
So, when Fire Emblem Fates... Oh, first thing to mention, of course I haven't played it. I own it, but I haven't played it. But I'll get to that. So, when Fire Emblem Fates got announced, it was originally 2 cards. It was Birthright and Conquest. So, and it was like, hey, these games are they're separate adventures told from a different perspective. Pick them up and give them a shot. But there was a special limited edition cart that they released, a special edition cart, where you could buy it, and it had both of these on one cart, along with the third scenario that Chris mentioned, that aside from this collection was only downloadable from the eShop. I was not able to acquire this collector's edition before it stopped selling.
Okay.
So, of course, I was like, screw it. I'm not going to bother with this game. I need to start saving money anyway. And then, the week this game came out, I got dumped by my at the time girlfriend. And I was heading down to MagFest that weekend. Mm-hmm. So, out of nowhere, while going on the road, just driving through Virginia, I just decided, you know what, screw it. I want the game. I want it today, and I'm going to get it. I just went to the game, so I said, give me both copies of the game. Didn't even want to get either of them. I was like, give me both of them. Take them home. And I bought like 2 other games that day, too. I don't even remember what they are, but these are the 2 that stand out the most.
This was some retail therapy.
Oh, it was solid retail therapy. Bought the living daylights out of these
Oh,
games.
my God.
And I kept telling myself, I'm going to go in, I'm going to play them as soon as I beat Fire Emblem Awakening. That has never happened because I put it on hard classic and I regret it. I still regret that decision.
Nightmare mode.
Oh, yeah, that is truly nightmare mode for Fire Emblem Awakening. Hard plus classic, though. Don't tell the hardcores on the internet because only losers can't beat hard classic. You should really be playing Lunatic, which is easier than Fire Emblem 6, actually, brother. Whatever.
Wow.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Wow.
And it drives me nuts. I'm like, look here, buddy. We can't all spend time soft resetting constantly because our dudes are dying on hard mode like you can. But anyway,
That's funny.
the thing that bugged me the most about this, though, was being that I am the completest type guy, I wanted to get both carts. But the annoying thing is that Nintendo intended for you to only buy one of the carts, unless you bought that special edition, of course. In which case, you still only bought one cart, but for a different reason. So they intended for you to buy one of the carts,
Right.
beat the first scenario, download the other 2 scenarios, and play them so you can link save files up. But there's no
all from like the same cart.
all from the same cart.
Yeah.
But you cannot actually link the save file from the 2 different carts. So if you bought Conquest and Birthright on cart,
Oh, then
you can only choose one of them to carry over your files.
Huh. That seems like an oversight.
That they wouldn't call it that, but I certainly
They'd
would.
be like, well, why did you buy it on 2 different things? And you'd be like, well, like, I mean, I'm seriously, like, what if it was gifted to you, right? You know, like, that could happen.
Yeah, and that would be a frustrating thing.
That would be very frustrating.
Also, I should mention this too. So,
This
because
music is
Chris said it in the
epic.
chat, and this is his pick. He believes that Fate has the best relationship component of any Fire Emblem that he has played. And if I'm not mistaken, he's played the Fates games, he's played Awakening, he's played Path of Radiance.
So he's had a relationship with this game.
He is forming one with the series, and he has got a deep relationship with this game. I think he said he's beaten it multiple times.
Wow.
So, it's an awesome time.
Very cool. All right, so my next track, I'm gonna pick this one, if that's okay with you.
I don't know. Yes, you can pick it.
All right,
Oh.
cool. This one is chosen by Autistic Gamer 89, another listener and patron of the show, and it is from the game DuckTales for the NES. This is the track "The Amazon," composed by Hiroshige Tonomura. And Pernell, I picked this one because I really want you to read this in the most dramatic way possible. For DuckTales for the NES, "The Amazon."
Uncle Scrooge is a world-class millionaire and a lover of adventure. His goal this time is to obtain the 5 lost treasures that were scattered throughout the world. He is off on his adventure with the help of Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby. They will travel with him through the jungles of the Amazon, the snow-topped peaks of the Himalayas, the haunted house in Transylvania, the subterranean mines of Africa, and to the surface of the moon. How many of the lost treasures will you be able to find?
Boom. Yeah, that came right from the manual. I love that.
I was like, I wish I could do.
Blathering blather, Sky.
I was like, oh, I hope you do like that, like a crazy like on DuckTales.
Woo! My problem is I wanted to do like one of those like wackier voices, but my voice isn't set for that. Exactly. Carlos,
you're gonna kill your voice doing that.
Carlos is like doing Donald Duck voice. I'm like, oh, I'm trying. I could not do it. I heard how the real guy does it.
Actually, I do love this song.
Can you imagine like doing like a dance to this?
Oh yeah, you can have
like an actual like couples dance.
play like a ballroom dance to like this
Yeah,
too.
ballroom
Yeah,
dancing.
yeah.
So good.
I love the counter melody in that is really cool. Actually, I'm just gonna play it for you real quick.
Oh, this part?
So listen to the triangle wave channel. It's like a flute in the background. That's so good. That's so good. I sound like Brent Weibach. I'm like, that's the best part. That's so good. So good, you guys.
Oh, this is tough. I got like 2 tracks.
I know, man.
Actually, I just realized I got one of my tracks I can pick as the closer for the episode, so I can actually fit them both in.
Yeah. So there's still a track from Chris Tienerson and a track from Nick Walker.
Yeah, the Nick one I think will be the closer.
Okay.
And then the Chris's will be the next one. And then we got to figure out the bonus round stuff.
Yeah, I have 2.
Yes, and that means we're good to go then.
All right, we're good to go. All right, let me just track down where the testimonial was.
I totally misread what Chris Murray said. I thought he said, I love how rebellious the Pogo Cane is.
Rebellious.
With a rebel cane!
I love that you went there. That's the best.
Oh my God.
All right, here we go. You're listening to
He cried, Mo money! with a midnight quack, baby!
You're listening to the Amazon from DuckTales for the Nintendo Entertainment System, composed by Hiroshige Tonomura, and this was picked by a listener and patron of the show, Autistic Gamer 89. And his testimonial. What's up?
Okay, we're good.
Oh, okay, you weren't sure if I was recording.
No, my voice anyway.
Oh, I got you. All right. Where was I?
I'll explain it a bit.
All right, and his test. Oh, and was someone saying that they couldn't hear? Pernell is kind of quiet right now. Oh yeah, you gotta make sure you get up on the mic sometimes.
Get up on the microphone.
Yeah. All right. So
You were reading his testimonial. Sorry.
testimonial. Autistic Gamer 89. And his testimonial.
Oh, good catch.
But I'm gonna do it now because I'm not gonna want to.
You want to remember it later, yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it because I do this stuff sometimes while I'm at work. All right.
I didn't hear nothing. I heard nothing.
Dude, it's Friday at night.
Just got paid.
All right, here we go.
Party hunting.
And he said, damn it.
Sorry.
All right, here we go. And he says, okay, this is crazy. All right. Back when I was really little, back when he was really little, my big brother wanted his NES in the same room as my crib. And I would be on it watching him play 2 games on it, Super Mario Brothers and DuckTales.
Woo!
Because of it, years later, when I was ready to say my first words, it wasn't the usual mom or dad, it was Mario.
I wonder if they confused it. Like, did he just say Mommy-o?
Mamio? Everything was Mario to me. Knowing this, you'd think my first game I've ever played, but that goes to DuckTales and the Amazon level, and ever since that day, I've been a gamer, and hearing this song and the World 1-1 song from Mario, it always brings back some good memories. So, this is, his absolute introduction into video games, is this game, and probably this song.
I could appreciate
Yeah.
that, too, because I could picture a lot of people's first introduction to games being, from this time period anyway,
Right,
being
right.
the Disney afternoon suite of games.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine a parent going to the store, looking for games for their kid, and the Disney games are an easy standout. They got the Disney's logo on the corner, and the box always had that nice, sweet design that just made it stand out on the shelf.
Yeah.
All the Capcom games.
All the Capcom Disney games they were so much more colorful. They had so much more illustration on the cover. They looked like comic books on the shelf compared to
Some of the other box covers.
Yeah, Gyrus or Karate,
or karate. Just karate.
The plain gray covers of like the classic,
bland box.
the bland NES games that are just called Karate or Kid Icarus.
I gotta ask though. So of course, because I think whenever DuckTales comes up, it has to be said.
I love
so.
DuckTales.
Oh, as you
I
should.
mean, the game.
I haven't played DuckTales 2 though I really should, even though I've heard it's not very good. But DuckTales 1, we all know that the love affair of the world is the darn Moon track.
Oh, well, the Moon is a great song.
But I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, we're not. All right, out of my mind.
If you're not, well, first of all, my favorite track isn't the Moon anyway. But for anyone else, including yourself and also our listeners who are on the stream, what is your favorite non-Moon DuckTales track?
You know what? He got it on the head right here. Amazon. It's either the Amazon or the Himalayas. I think it's the Amazon track because I love all the different sections of this music. Like there's like 3 or 4 distinct like parts to the song. There's like the little breakdown. There's like a little like the drums get really cool. There's counter melodies on the triangle channel. It's just so neat. So for me, it's the Amazon. Also, it's like probably my favorite stage. The Amazon stage, because it was like that's the one that's like blocked when you first go to it, right?
Now the Amazon, you can go right into it. The one that's blocked, I want to say the mines are locked. I'm pretty sure it's like the mines that are locked.
Yeah,
up.
that's right. That's the one that's blocked. I got that confused with another stage. What's your favorite then?
Honestly, you kind of know. Even though this is the most iconic for me, because this is always the level I went to first when I would play the game.
Yeah, me too.
So even if I didn't play a full run of the game, I would definitely do this stage. But my favorite, just track in general, is easily the African Moans.
Yeah, the mines.
That's got that's
my favorite.
sound,
I love
man.
that stage, man. That's a cool stage. I
I
feel like I think the Moon really resonates with people because it's so different from the rest of the game. Because there's a lot more to explore. Like you can go off to the side of the screen and keep going and find like secret treasure chests and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, like the epicness of that music.
Epic Nick Walker.
Epic Nick Walker. The epicness of that music. It kind of fits with how different the stage is. Like you're not in the Himalayas, you're not traveling the world, you're off-world, and suddenly there's ducks in space. It's crazy. Crazy ducks in space. It's a cool game. I really love DuckTales. I've only played on NES a handful of times. I had it for the Game Boy, which was I felt like a direct port of the NES game. The music was the same, the stages were the same, I think.
Which one are you talking about? The remastered one?
DuckTales for the Game Boy.
Oh, yeah, it
The
was.
original Game
It
Boy.
was all the same
It
stuff.
was all the same. I played it to death. Like, I think I played that NES game more than any other Game Boy game more than any other Game Boy game that I had.
I don't think I ever played
That
it
might
so
go
much.
for Tetris.
Tetris should
That's
be their
a
number
lot
one
of Duck.
play.
But I think DuckTales I played more.
Than Tetris?
Yeah, I played it. I mean, I replayed it again and again and again and again and again because I got to the point where I could just beat it without even thinking about it.
I guess mine. I'm trying to think what most played Game Boy, like Mega Man and Dr. Wise's Revenge.
Yeah.
Or Tetris, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one would be like, would it be Hyankyo Alien?
Ooh, that's a good game. Yeah, I
Very
like Hyankyo
possibly
Alien.
was. I was quite obsessed with that little number. Not including the RPG. That's kind of cheating if you reference an RPG. They're just long by default.
There is a, I've talked about it before, but there's a podcast called Retronauts, which is a much more historically focused video game podcast. Mm-hmm. And they had it's the 30-year anniversary of Game Boy. It was like last week or the week before. Mm-hmm. And they covered all of these classic titles and their favorite titles from Game Boy. And Hyankyo Alien was definitely on that list because it was actually a direct arcade port of that game, and because it fits right in between those like what are they called, Sobaku games, where like you're pushing.
I remember we were talking about that earlier. But the name alluded. I think it was like Sobaku,
and also Lode Runner, because Lode Runner is very much like side scrolling, and then you have to dig a pit, wait to trick the monsters to fall into it, and then you bury them alive.
It's so good. It's so morbid.
It's so much fun, and the great music too. So yeah, great pick. Thanks for bringing this on the show. I do love DuckTales. So, Pernell, what is your final track?
All right, I kind of have to go with this one because I genuinely just loved the description that he provided. He gave some real detail.
Some real flavor?
Yeah, this is some flavor. So I'm going to pick it. I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
This is the intro track from the game The Secret of Monkey Island. And it was submitted by a listener, Chris Steenerson. It is composed by Michael Zealand, Peter McConnell, and Clint Bajakian.
In The Secret of Monkey Island, you play the role of Guybrush Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood.
I am Groot. Guybrush Threepwood.
Guybrush Threepwood, a young man who has just hit the shores of Melee Island, somewhere in the Caribbean. Our naive hero's travels have led him to Melee Island in a quest to fulfill his life's ambition to become a fierce, swashbuckling, bloodthirsty pirate. Unbeknownst to Guybrush, however, there have been some strange happenings in the surrounding area,
And it don't look good.
in the area surrounding Melee Island, in the more mysterious Monkey Island. As he walks into this maelstrom of mystery, Guybrush will soon be very aware that things are not what they appear to be, and even bloodthirsty pirates can be scared, and that there's more to being a pirate than swinging a sword and drinking grog.
Who you go? My first thought was Ghostbusters, baby.
Whoa.
Well, everything okay?
Yeah.
As long as everything's okay.
Yeah, everything's good. I'll tell you.
And this is going to be a weird play because if you didn't do the chop of it,
I have not done the chop yet. Do you know where it is in the track?
it's the very first track, but I think it stops at like 2 minutes or so.
We will find. Well, it's probably gonna be easy to see then.
Maybe we'll hit the play, but let it ride.
So this is the enhanced CD version for PC.
It's delicious.
So it's probably the cut right here, like around here somewhere. Ooh, this is
I
dope.
genuinely do appreciate everybody that does pop into these chats, though.
Oh, me too.
I wish I could think of a way to make it more interesting for people, but hopefully they're just having fun hanging out in general.
Yeah, I mean, like, podcasts are not the most exciting things to begin with, and so watching people record them,
I guess that's true.
I try to make it as exciting as possible with interactivity.
Maybe what we could do is get a big hat and put like some candles on it.
Yeah.
And light them. And we have to finish the recording before the flame gets
Ooh,
down.
Nightmare mode podcasting.
Yes. Put a fuse running out the door and like.
Oh, I love this.
And today we have an episode that's going to be supposed by. I hope you like the game because I like the game too. Sounds really good. Listen to it. Next track. Bye. Just in time. It's like we recorded before it's over.
We have been going through this episode a little bit quicker than usual, which I'm happy with. I like getting to the music a little faster.
Well, I think it's more so also a lot to do because of the fact that the tracks are from the listeners.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
we don't have as much to talk about because we're not driving the dialogue because it's based on what the listeners want to see.
Yeah, this is a great. So all we have left then is we have a track from Nick Walker. Do you want to play at the end?
Yeah, that's the closer track.
Um,
I can even suggest it as a possible one for the end.
and I have. That was it, right? That was it. Yeah, I had an extra track from Electric Boogaloo, which was really cool. I mean, really, really cool. And then I had one from a new listener, Steven, Lock_Steven.
Go with Steven. Looks like he put a pretty decent amount of effort into his description.
Yeah, so I guess we'll save it for the next time. But
me see.
I wanted to give preference to Patreon
Oh, he's a
members.
patron.
Yeah, he's not a patron. He just
He's just a listener.
he just emailed us. Oh, we got a nice email too. Did you see that?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I'll read it to you later. Now, I'll read it to you now.
Well, we got the people on the thing.
People on the thing. All right, people on the thing. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'll start from here.
Welcome back. You just listened to the intro from the game The Secret of Monkey Island, submitted by listener Chris Steenerson and composed by Michael Zealand. Peter, I have to say it as Zealand, even though it's like two separate things.
I've always said Zealand. In my mind, I say Zealand. Yeah.
Peter McConnell and Clint Bajakian. Or Bajakian. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, here's a nice, glorious testimonial from Chris Stenerson in regards to this game and his love of it. I remember seeing this game on the shelf when I was buying Maniac Mansion for my Commodore 64 and thinking it looked interesting with its beautiful VGA graphics of pirates and a weird soda machine. At the time, I did not have a PC to play it on, nor the cash to afford it. I was at Babbage's buying Maniac Mansion with $20 of rolled up pennies. Brother, I know. I totally get it. Eventually, I found myself at the house of a family friend who had a fancy new PC with a CD-ROM, stereo speakers, and a copy of Maniac Mansion on CD. We played through the whole game in one sitting that ended up ending at around 3 in the morning. The end of the game accurately said,
Wow.
"Now turn off the computer and go to bed." I like that.
Like the ending actually said that?
That's what it actually said, apparently.
I like that, yeah.
It was a video game binge session that left quite an impression on me. The amazing music, the hilarious writing, and the tricky but always solvable puzzles made it one of my favorite games of all time. If you've played it, that music is now a part of your soul. There aren't many game soundtracks that I can think of that dig in and stick so well. I lift my tankard of grog to Michael Land for his incredible work. I've never even played the game, and I'm going to do the same thing with my tankard of freshly brewed Wawa coffee. Good enough.
Good enough.
But, yeah, like, honestly, Monkey Island is one of those games that I've wanted to look into going back to in the present because back when this game was new, I didn't like adventure games yet.
Oh,
so,
really?
it looked kind of boring
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
But, of course, as I got older and got exposure to, like, the adventure games that, had themes that, spit my interest, I developed a fond appreciation of the genre. And now I could totally see myself going back and trying this game out.
He talked about playing this like in one big long marathon session. What was like the last time, or maybe like the time that comes to your mind first when you think of the last time you did like a marathon gaming session?
2 of them. One I mentioned recently, which was Day Bow Bow, was the one where Mike and I played Hypervoid.
Hypervoid, yeah.
Because that was like literally an all-night thing. Another one, there's 3 total now.
Okay, 3 total.
Another one being Silent Hill 1. Playing that one of my first break home from college.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night downstairs in the living room because I actually hooked the PlayStation up on the living room TV, which I didn't do back when I was living at home. And played that also all night, which made all the scary parts that much scarier. And then the weirdest one I've ever done, I played the entirety of the game Outlast on Easter Sunday last year.
The scariest of the holidays.
Oh, yeah. It was surprisingly appropriate given where the plot goes, but
Interesting.
it was a very odd thing to do. Like, I'm just going to boot this up and see what it's like, and then more and more I played, and eventually I played through the entire game in one sitting. I think it took me like 10 hours.
Wow.
So I was quite addicted to Outlast.
No kidding.
Honestly, marathons are a rarity for me these days, but when the opening strikes and the game is just right,
Yeah, sometimes like the games are still, binge worthy, right? Mm-hmm. But we're still able to put them down. Do you think that it has to do with how easy it is to save games nowadays?
well,
Or how it's like a lot of games autosave?
it does. Auto saving helps, but I think if anything, saves make it easier to put a game down.
Yeah.
If anything, though, if I want to play through something enough and I feel engaged enough by it,
Yeah, that one doesn't bother
it
you.
won't bother me.
Yeah.
I'll still save the game because it's just that thing you do, but I'll just continue to press on until I'm tired of playing. So we have one statement. Pilar goes, do I like King's Quest? Have you ever played King's
I
Quest?
have played King's Quest.
'Cause I have never played it.
I know my wife Christy has played through, maybe this is the same one. I want to say it was King's Quest 6. 5, it was King's Quest 5 or 6, and we watched a playthrough of it online. And it was so slow. I couldn't believe how slow it was. It was very much It was very much like just a bunch of fairy tales kind of slapped together. And you had to go from like screen to screen, picking up items and using it on other items and just making sure you're in the right place at the right time. But moving from screen to screen was pretty slow. But it was very along the like. Have you ever seen like Police Quest or Space Quest?
I feel like if anything, I think the closest I've come to probably playing a game like that was recently. I was playing a game called The Book of Unwritten Tales, and that's a similar vibe where like the entire game is you're walking around. Actually, King's Quest was first person, I think, wasn't it?
No, these were all these were like super old, like Apple II, like not even Apple II, but like old school, like
Really?
Tandy style. Yeah, old.
You know what?
games.
I got a feeling I'm confusing it with that one game that was like a From Software game. It was like King something else on the PlayStation 1. Which, but honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm
don't know
aware
the
of
name of that
King's
one.
Quest, but I think it might have been one of the later King's Quest or something. But anyway, the point is,
yeah.
like, the closest I've ever come to playing a game of that nature, I think recently I started playing a game called Book of Unwritten Tales 2. And that one is a similar vibe where it's like, there's no combat or anything like that. It's just various scenarios, and you're walking around as different characters trying to solve puzzles that will allow you to advance to the next environment. And the majority of the thing that carries the game is the witty writing,
Yes,
and the funny
yeah.
jokes and characters.
Right.
It's pretty engaging.
Yeah. So King's Quest, I think it was Sierra Games, if that means anything to you, or at least maybe you know about it. Sierra Games released a whole bunch of this Quest series types games. If you're ever interested in,
Oh, thank you. She covered my butt. So it was King's Fields I was getting it
King's
confused
Field,
with.
that sounds familiar. Yes.
King's Field.
Yeah.
That was the one that was on PS1, and it was first person. I don't feel so insane anymore. I'm seriously looking like
Were you
I'm
like
insane.
thinking like you ever do that thing where you believe something exists but and you're thinking about it, but then like so you create these memories that aren't real?
Like the Berenstain Bears?
Maybe not like so far as the Berenstain Bears.
Oh.
Anyway, I was going to say that if you're interested in knowing what Space Quest is about, because that's got some really silly writing in it. The Game Grumps has a playthrough of Police Quest 3 and 4, and it's just Danny playing through the game, so it's just him talking through it. It's called Have a Chill Space Time. And he plays through the game in like an hour and a half, and it's just really fun because he remembers it when he was a kid. And
He's never stuck.
so like he gets stuck here and there, but like it's not like a long slog, and it's not like a speed run. He's just really enjoying it, and it's a really good playthrough if you're ever interested in that kind of stuff, because that's got some really silly stuff in it. So I'm going to turn this track down, and we're going to get into the part of the show we like to call the bonus round.
The bonus round. Whoa. Let me stop.
Bonus round on the wings of my dreams. The rise and fall of the bonus round.
Jingles.
All right.
We got nothing.
The bonus round is the part of the show where we play covers and remixes and arrangements on our theme. We also had some remixes sent to us by our listeners and Patreon subscribers. So our first one is going to come to us from Cameron Worma. This is Space Harrier 2. Get Ready, a classic OC remix from the artist DJ Pretzel. DJ Pretzel!
Nummels? Num 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 num. DJ Pretzels.
DJ Pretzel.
What was the other remix that was
Khaled.
on here, though?
The other remix is right below it. Steve
That's
Miller.
the Beautiful Morning?
Nikki Learns a Song.
Beautiful Morning.
No, Beautiful Morning's from Spikoden.
No. Maybe I didn't print that page out.
You got it. It's.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. I see there was no description for it. I got it.
I don't know what that is.
No, I found it. I just didn't. There was no dealie, so I wasn't.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
stay
There was nothing else with it. It was just that. That's just all we had.
That's all we got.
That's all we got, everybody. Volume is all we have. So. all your board games for now. Yeah.
Get ready. Get ready.
Nice.
Get ready.
I like it. It's very, very classic. Very, very classic. I'm into it.
Honestly, I'm gonna look at the track later, but this has a very similar sound to another OC Remix track that I might have been by DJ Pretzel.
Yeah, he definitely has a sound. It's kind of like,
It was
kind of like a breakcore
It was.
kind
I
of.
don't want to look it up on here, but it was a Magical Drop 3 remix that I played years ago. Maybe it was the drum and J-pop.
Hey, was there a poppin' music song called 777?
Yes.
All right, that's where I heard it. I think it's got a re-release on the new DDR, and everyone's like, "Wow, this crazy song! I first heard it on such and such." And I'm like, I think that was Poppin' Music.
Yep. Poppin' 8.
Poppin' 8. That's old. That's old. Poppin' 8. World.
Oh, we are very old, but let's not tell the listeners that.
No, we're young. We're so young.
Forever young.
And relevant.
We're totally relevant. Gives me memory of that Simpsons episode where like the VJs had like the age clocks was like, I'm 25 years old. It's like brr, 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 and it's like
Remember
yanked
that.
them off the air, and they replaced it with a younger like 20-year-old.
No, there's a Portlandia where the guy's like he's sad that VJs aren't on MTV anymore, and so he goes and he finds like Kurt Loder and a bunch of like these other people, and they take over MTV, but like no one's watching it, so like no one cares.
Oh,
It's Portlandia, so it's like the Onion. Or no, Portlandia reminds me of the Perry Bible Fellowship, where it's like kind of one note. It's always the same joke every time.
Prairie Bible's not always the same joke.
Yeah, it is.
Why is it the same joke?
Isn't it great riding the school bus? I always like riding the school bus with friends. And you pan out, and the school bus is like going into pit.
That's not always the joke.
That's almost always the joke.
What about Funbot?
Okay, Funbot's good. Or like the one where it's like, Uncle Larry likes us to have fun. We always have fun with Uncle Larry. And they're like, we pretend, and they're pretending to be gladiators. And like Uncle Larry like releases a lion into the room. I love that. I like that sound a lot.
What the heck is that? Ah!
I don't know. It's cool, man.
Stop it! Ah! You gotta stop it, Robert. You've got an addiction.
You're killing me, Robert.
Bop, 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 bop.
Anyway. That was Space Harrier 2. Get Ready from DJ Pretzel, and that was picked by Cameron Worma. He says, if we're asking for absolute favorites, I have to throw this your way. definitely in my top 5 all-time tracks. Loads of nostalgia, and aside from questionable synths, I don't think they're questionable. I think they're classic. Well, maybe that little voice sample. It's a beautifully crafted piece. I agree with you. I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect the way it is. I like the synth sounds. I really like cheesy classic synth sounds.
I enjoyed that listener Stephen Miller goes, it sounds like a Russian nightclub. And it kind of does.
Something about that, yeah. I don't know what that means, but
I might
I
have
agree.
put the thought in my head
Yeah.
because now once I read it, I was like, yeah, I think it does.
All right, what's the track you're picking from, dude?
So I'm going to go with the name I just mentioned. That is Stephen Miller, who submitted a remix by I'm not sure if he does a lot these days, but back in the day, he was well involved. Ailshon. And the track is a remix from the game Chrono Cross titled Nikki Learns a Song.
Yeah, I believe this is like an arrangement of Radical Dreamers.
Yeah. Like he's like, I'm just practicing. I'm gonna get this right. All right, there it is.
I like it. I like how.
No, I like it. It's
Grungy.
It's dirty. Like he's actually learning the track.
Oh, yeah, Nikki learns a song. He does that now.
Look up hard bass. It's a super hard style of Russian EDM, very similar to this song, but more bass heavy.
OC Remix has always had like a big presence at MagFest.
Like he and Mustin would like work together on stuff.
I like what this has turned into.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
It feels like he's actually learning and perfecting the song.
Do you want to do the? Do you want to do
Nick Walker.
the testimonial or the?
Definitely do the testimonial.
You do the testimonial. All right.
Yeah. Welcome back. You just listened to Nikki Learns a Song, remix from the game Chrono Cross, done by artist Ailshon and submitted by listener Stephen Miller. This track was really nice. Like it started out very grungy, like he was really sitting down tuning a guitar and like just taking a crack at the song, and he just got progressively better until eventually you had this happy track, and it sounded great. I liked it. And you said it was definitely like a remix of Radical Dreamers.
Yeah, it's definitely an arrangement of Radical Dreamers, which is like the theme, the thread that kind of goes throughout Chrono Cross, which is really strong.
And I asked the listeners in the group, you said you played through Cross, right? Or some of it at least.
Oh yeah, no, I played through Cross, maybe twice.
Who was your favorite party member?
Probably the weirdo ones, like the Space Boy one, whatever his name was.
Starkey was great.
Starkey, yeah, Starkey. I like Starkey a lot. I think Nikki. Maybe it was Nikki. Nikki was the crazy
Nikki
musician.
was the guitarist.
Yeah, the musician. And
There was Mickey and Nikki.
I mean, I love that there were so many characters. I want to go back and play this game. I would love like a remastered version of this game, but I just know that it didn't have that popularity that some other RPGs did that would warrant a huge development team that it would take to clean up the graphics and remodel everything.
Which is unfortunate because it was a great game.
That's
like
great.
I'm actually playing it on the Vita again. I think my favorite characters were Starkey and Orla, who was the barmaid who had the drunken boxing style of combat. I remember liking not Nikki but Mickey.
Yes.
That may well be the majority. The Scarecrow, not the Scarecrow, but the Voodoo Doll.
Voodoo Doll, that's right. Yeah, there wasn't there like
Mojo.
There was a chef and the chef's daughter, and they fought with frying pans.
Yeah, no, she fought with a ladle.
A ladle. Yeah, she fought with a big spoon, a giant spoon.
And if I'm not mistaken, all of her weapons were like named based off of the chemical equation that formed it. Like copper spoon was like a Cu spoon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember first seeing that and thinking, like, what does that mean? But then, like, realizing after you get more of the items, that's one of the big criticisms of the game was that there were more characters than plot, which, I mean, I guess kind of makes sense because the thread doesn't run through it super, of the plot doesn't run super strong through the game, but it's still, still a lot of characters.
Definitely got to mention the Steven's favorite characters.
Okay. Oh, great. Definitely.
He mentions Glenn. He mentions this double Einlaser attack. Though, if I remember correctly, people were always, even back then, were speculating: is this the same Glenn as the Frog Glenn?
Oh, right.
It wasn't, but people were trying to make that connection. And he also mentions a soft spot for Grobyuk. If I'm not mistaken, he was like Black Android. Black was his primary element.
Oh yeah. Wow, I really want to play this game again. I really, really love Chrono Cross. Well, for more information on the bonus round part of our show, you can go to rhythmandpixels.com, and we'll have links to SoundClouds and Bandcamps and the artist pages where you can go buy the music and support the artists. But we have one last track to go out on, and to keep in theme with the rest of the show, we are going to continue with these little intros. So this game is from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. The track is Benevolent Spirit, and this was picked by listener Nick Walker. This game takes place in a world where there are no humans, only Pokemon.
Pokemon!
You, a human, out of the blue, have come to this world and been turned into a Pokemon. Your senses and feelings are also becoming more like Pokemon. Why have you turned into a Pokemon? It is up to you to solve this mystery on your adventure.
Venture.
We were both thinking it at the same time. Venture. Benevolent spirit.
That's what he is, benevolent as all hell.
This is good. Ready?
Uh-huh.
See how it goes.
Testimonial by That Nick Walker. When you guys were talking about your favorite games, I just knew that my only choice could be Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. This was the first game I ever bought for me when I was young, and all I wanted for my 10th birthday was a Game Boy Advance and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And for my first trial on the personality test, I got my favorite Pokemon, Charmander, and I was absolutely in love with the Mystery Dungeon formula. Now the songs in these games are absolutely great, at least the first 2 generations anyway. They're incredibly emotional and powerful, and have actually made me cry on multiple occasions with the themes of friendship and never giving up. It's a very personal game to me. The song I'm picking plays when your main character is sleeping and having a dream talking to another Pokemon, so I figured it would make a good end card music track since the song loops pretty quickly. Guess what? We agree. Because that's why it's on that end track. It's really good.
This is a great tune.
And this testimonial was glorious.
Yeah, I'm really into this song. A great testimonial. Thank you, That Nick Walker, for this final track to go on.
I'm honestly, for someone who has little experience with the Mystery Dungeon games, even though I own like one of every generation of them, I do personally agree to liking the Mystery Dungeon's aesthetic in the sense that it gives you a lot more of an impression of Pokemon personalities. So when you're playing the Pokemon games official, the personality truly only comes from like the actual people in the game. But the Pokemon are mainly battle avatars, and their interactions are basically those weird sounds they came up with for their animal cries.
Battle cries or whatever, yeah.
But in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the world is Pokemon. So since they are the only people interacting with each other, they get to have, well, people. You know what I mean? So they're the only characters interacting with each other. You get to hear how they would perceive the world around them and how they would react. So, like, you'd have, like, benevolent Pokemon. You'd have creepy Pokemon. You'd have kind-hearted Pokemon. And then you have some that are just outright whacked out in their heads. But all in all, it's a fantastic time. And even if you're not too well versed in the Mystery Dungeon formula, the Pokemon games make a great stepping stone to get started.
It's a good, I want to listen to more of this music now because this track is really cool.
And I'm probably going to play my copy of Blue Rescue Team when I get home.
Blue would be the Squirtles.
Yes, right. Well, I think it was more meant to it would be Squirtles, but in a sense of like how the covers were. But I think it's just meant to reference how Pokemon Red and Blue's colors were back.
Okay, it was just like 2 separate games because he talked about his first one was Charmander. That's interesting that he took a personality test at the beginning of the game to choose his opening Pokemon.
Well, what happens is the game when you start it up, it's like your character's subconscious is being transferred to a Pokemon.
Okay.
Because you wake up, holy crap, I'm a Pokemon. But what it does is the game will ask you a series of questions, and based on those questions, it determines what Pokemon to actually put you into. So you can wake up as a Squirtle, or a Charmander, or a Pikachu, or there's like a couple other options too. Like it's not just the traditional 3 starters.
Okay. Well, we should probably actually
Oh,
Yeah.
dog's got to take the runs.
Yeah, doggy might have to head out here. But anyway, thanks for listening to us on Rhythm and Pixels, episode 18-2. It's kind of our favorite, our listeners' favorite games and tracks.
And honestly, I love this theme and I love this episode. It was nice to hear everyone's favorite games and just their track suggestions in relation to those games, because
Yeah, I liked hearing it too.
like this
Yeah.
show is definitely about VGM, but just as much as VGM is there, it's also just about our experiences and our listeners' experiences and just sharing a love for this grand whole hobby of ours. You
Well,
know?
and I feel like these episodes that we do are just as much about community as it is about the music and the games and the experiences.
Oh yeah.
So if you'd like to know more about our show, if you'd like to reach out to us, and if you have any questions, if you have any track suggestions, if you have any topic suggestions for future episodes, please send us an email.
rhythmandpixels@hotmail.com.
If you'd like more information about our show, full track listings from all of the episodes and links to everything else that we're doing, go to the website.
rhythmandpixels.com.
If you'd like to see us on social media, it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. It's Rhythm and Pixels, all one word. A lot of the chat is happening in the Facebook group called Rhythm and Pixels Chat. You can check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/rhythmandpixels. There we have the audio of each episode is getting put up there as a video, and we have mixtapes from past episodes getting put up there, and we have our 24/7 radio station playing only 8-bit and 16-bit classics. If you'd like to support the show, hit subscribe or just share the show with your friends, or you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/rhythmandpixels, and there you can support the show that way. You get access to all of these great live streamed episodes that we're doing. I say great; they're fantastic. They're the best.
They're adequate.
They're pretty good. And we like to thank every Patreon member at the end of every episode. So we want to thank that Nick Walker. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your continued support of the show. It means a whole lot to us.
I concur.
We want to thank Alex, the Messenger, Steve Miller, the Autistic Gamer 89, Cameron Werma, Christopher Shenstrom, Damian Beckles, Bobby Arson, Wikido Sephiroth, OK Impala, Kung Fu Carlito from the Heroes 3 podcast, Henrik Anderson of the Commodore 64 Camouflage podcast, Michael Bridgewater from the Forever Sound Version podcast, Brian Pitt, Morton Gangso, Chris Marie, Jupiter Jazz. Thank you so much for your continued support of the show. It means a whole lot to us. I want to thank Soulless Sanctuary, Mix 6 Master John Jekyll, Joe Vasallo, Chris Steenerson.
Our favorite guitar noodler.
Chris Steenerson, our favorite guitar noodler. Noodler.
Noodler.
In the noodler.
That'd be a noodler.
And David Smith. Cannot forget David Smith. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the show. And this past Friday, over on our other favorite VGM podcast, the VG Embassy, with our good friend Ed Wilson, I guested on his show, and I talked nothing else. I talked only about drum and bass music in video games. So if you're interested in that, check that out. I talk about the history of the music. I talk about the music itself. I talk about the games, how these games introduced me to the music.
He talks about a lot of things.
Yes, real junglist vibes on that show. So check it out on the VG Embassy with Ed Wilson. And that's all. So I think we'll get back to normal episodes next week.
Or not. We have potentially.
Potentially.
We have one more topic that we didn't touch on. I'm considering bugging Rob to do it, but
Okay.
otherwise, if
I'm
we
down.
do-
You know I'm down.
all right, in that case, then one more episode like this, and then we're back to normal.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks for listening to Rhythm and Pixels. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Purnell.
Thanks for listening, and have a safe week.
And remember. Oh my God, I am strangely tired. But what I want to say is that we were talking about it earlier at the beginning of the episode, but it never hurts to just say it as the ender as well. Like what you like and play what you play. Criticize and discuss at will, because it's worth discussing your games and getting into it on that level, just to kind of treat games like the art pieces that they actually are. You know, the music, the graphics, the voices, all of it. It's all art, and it deserves to be criticized because that's what you do for artistic things. You want to talk about them on that level. But it doesn't mean you got to be a jerk about it. Because if you're a jerk, you're just kind of shutting out any desire to hear what you've got to say. So just be nice, be kind, but be critical. Because honestly, at the end of the day, we all just want to share our interests and hobbies and just talk about the things we enjoy. So let's do that and let's have fun with it. Have a good night. Good evening, friends.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show this evening and this. If you got any random ideas for what you'd like to see us do, though, as Rob mentioned earlier, I can imagine it being pretty tough to pull that off because, to be honest, it's a live stream. Like, but if there's something you can think of where you're like, hey, that'd be pretty cool for us to happen on live streams or whatever, let us know. It'd be kind of cool. But otherwise, right now, we're just kind of being wacky, having fun. If it weren't for the fact that we were doing all the testimonial readings and everything, I'd have been playing the messenger on this recording.
Oh, yeah. But I like that we had so much to
I agree.
to add to the show. I like that a whole lot.
Honestly, I wish we could get this every live stream
Yeah.
because it's really nice just to hear what people's thoughts are on their picks.
Well, that's what the VGM the VGM jukebox was all about. It was just they would read testimonials and they would talk about other people's experiences with the games. I really liked it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking I'd start getting back onto getting guests on the show and this and that. In June is the Too Many Games, so that's coming up.
One guess I thought we should try to consider doing, mostly because I'm reviewing a game of his next week, is that guy Matt Creamer.
Yeah, we should definitely guess. He's pretty active in a lot of like the Facebook groups and stuff, so maybe we can get him involved. I need to go back out to that one game developer that I talked to that's doing that Battle Network style game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to hear
One
more
Step from
him.
Edom. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I reached out to, not Barry Leach. It was like a classic composer. I can't remember. I chatted about it with, I think it was Electric Boogaloo on the Discord. And I was like, oh, this is great. I'm just going to reach out to him. I don't care. So I reached out to his record label.
My
And
problem is that
who was it? I can't remember.
I just have trouble thinking of people. Yeah, I believe so. Wicked Sephiroth. I think Mix and Mess. I'm almost. I know they're doing like a follow up to the VGM jukebox,
Right,
and I think the testimonials are a part of it.
They will be. So I think they're sort of carrying the torch of the VGM jukebox. They're calling it the Mix and Mess because it's Mixix Master and the Messenger. But I don't know that's coming along or where that is yet.
Honestly, I think hopefully we'll just see when they throw that first episode out. They got to jump into the fire. But I'm trying to think,
Oh, here we go. This is something.
my problem is that most of my composers that I know are all Japanese composers.
Kicking knowledge on a different level. Makes a lyric like the bass with the
What
treble.
is that?
Take a deep breath, get it funky as well. Release a solid vibe, 'cause it's switching.
What was that?
This is sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. These are the lyrics it's the vocal samples from that Final Fight track from Capcom vs. SNK.
That's a random thing to pull up.
I was chatting
Oh,
about
because
it.
that composer you were looking for.
Yeah, I was looking it up. Yeah, it was. Thanks for pointing me in the right direction. Martin Iveson, I've reached out to, so fingers crossed on Martin Iveson.
What did he do?
He did a game called Pro Gear, a bunch of other classics. Looking it up, I can't find him anywhere. He did a bunch of cool stuff.
I think that's my biggest challenge. It's like most of the composers I'm familiar with are all Japanese composers.
Yeah.
I need to actually dive deeper
Well,
into
then that's just-
U.S. composers.
Yeah, because you play a lot of indie games, especially stuff that you're covering for reviews now.
Yeah.
A lot of these smaller groups, like there's just a few handful of people. They would probably love the exposure.
That's a good. Actually,
Just reach out to them.
again-
Actually.
I talk about there's this game I reviewed called Okunoka, I think I may have picked a track from the game on here before. In fact, you should put it on. I can let you hear it. But
do it.
I wouldn't mind bringing that guy on. But his name, I think he's actually from. I'm not sure where he's from. I know I'm almost positive the game got developed in the States, or maybe developed in the States.
All right, here, let's go to the old YouTube.
Look up a track called Pink Pepper.
Whoops.
Ooh, look what you did.
Look what you did. Pink Pepper.
Yeah, because like it's I reviewed this game. It is one of those massacre. They call it
doTERRA? No.
Okunoka, but
O
Okunoka or something like that.
Okunoka.
I'm assuming it's got on there because they were
There's the
sharing
boss
everything.
track.
Yeah, it's a great track.
Oh man, look at this.
But like,
at this.
True Green. Oh snap! But like I like the music in this game, and I would not mind getting this guy on the show at some point. Andrea Federici. I don't think we did we?
See what?
Rainbow Dragon Eyes.
That was in the VG Embassy. They had him. Maybe-
Nah, Wicked Summer was asking if we ever reached out to that person.
Oh, we haven't. I mean, we probably should. Oh, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, I reviewed this game. It's one of those games that is really good, but it's getting so little appreciation. It's depressing. Though it doesn't help that it's a massacre game, which I learned that terminology because of this game. That's what people call these games, massacres.
Here, Andre. It just says LinkedIn.
Well, he's probably got content everything on the LinkedIn.
Oh, he's Italian. He's from Italy.
Oh, nice.
I like it, man. I like it. I like it.
And there was another game I just reviewed called Bugs Must Die, which is another game that I wish got more sales, but I don't think it's selling very well at all. It's like it plays like Jackal did, or it's meant to be reminiscent of Jackal. Yeah, let me double check to make sure I got it right, but it's probably like massacre, like masochist speed runs. Or let me see.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I was right. Yep, I was right. Massacre. Celeste. Oh, did you find the OST?
No,
Or the gameplay?
That's just like a trailer. But I'm looking up the company, 'cause that's what you do when you're finding the stuff. That's what you do when you're finding the stuff.
That's the stuff.
You know, if you are a games developer and you're trying to promote your game,
It's right there. Contact.
I know there's a contact, but I want to know who did what. It should be like credits somewhere on the joint.
It's like your Elmer Fudd and your hunting rabbits. I wish that was it actually now. Elmer Fudd.
All right, Rob and Purnell.
If you're going to write them right now, mention that Purnell recently reviewed your game for the SML podcast.
VGM podcast interviews. Hi, Purnell.
Bugs must be very, very quiet. I'm hunting bugs. I'm hunting wabbits.
Cue it up now.
DJ Grumble.
There we go.
Wait a minute. Because it's over now. I bet that's what that was meant to
Yeah,
reference.
I bet you it is.
Until it's over now. Are you able to rewind it back to that track?
I think so, yeah.
Because I'm almost positive that's what that was meant to reference.
It's proving to be difficult.
I guess because there's just so many.
Yeah, I can't find it.
No, it was in there. It would have come up after that, I think. Because it was that image that was up. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey. Huh.
Oh, there's a cat for you.
He's like, I'm just going to jump up here.
Recently, use this game for for Hayport player
No, SML.
for another game.
Archie is definitely a people cat. Also, did you hear that they actually said that like cats can actually understand their name, they just
Yeah.
don't care?
Yeah, Archie totally does. Archie. Yeah, your name. There you go. Message sent. So that'd be kind of cool if we get them.
I don't actually mind the games I've been doing reviews for. I bet there's a bunch that I could tap into for that kind of thing.
You can lay down, so maybe that's all right. All right, I'm gonna kill the stream.
All right, well, we're about to head out for the night, Bonsoir Sephiroth. But it was a definite good time hanging out with you and chatting for the night. But, of course, as you know, we'll continue chatting in the group, the Rhythm and Pixels chat and all that stuff. Just also, for the record, if you ever want to talk games or anything random like that, just drop a message in the chat. It'd be kind of cool to gab about it. Or, hell, even on my Facebook wall. I'm good with either. But just feel free to send a message over and talk shop. And on that note, have a good night.
Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night.